Yep, hello there. The right now it's 10:43 p.m. On 2025, October 1st. That's a Wednesday, and I am here to talk about something that I've been thinking about over the past 9 or so days. Yeah, probably since Monday of the previous week, and that's when I came across the thing called the ACLU JimmyKimmel petition. And if you don't know what that is, it's the talk show host Jimmy Kimmel was briefly suspended for 4 or 5 days or something, because ABC, ABC and the Walt Disney Company decided to stop taping a show and just suspend his whole show for a few days. And that's because the two major affiliate networks that are affiliate networks for local stations for ABC decided to stop airing his shows, even though they were still being produced and made. They just decided not to air them and air local programming instead. And those affiliate networks are Nexstar and Sinclair, and those are 64 combined stations, and they're for some. Apparently, there's some for some, a good chunk of the population for ABC, for the U.S. Television network, and that's literally just broadcast television. It's not streaming. It's not Hulu. It's not cable. It's not Jimmy Kimmel clips on the internet. And ultimately, they gave him a little slap on the wrist, and it's because he made that disgusting lie about the Charlie Kirk assassin. Is potentially being what he called the MAGA gang, one of their own, and he basically lied. He misled his audience, as little of his audience as there are. The main advertiser demographic that on average watches his show, it averages out to 129,000 a day. That's watching the actual show on TV. That's even though not a lot of people watch live TV as it happens. That's still pathetically tiny. So he's a net loss, in terms of money, and but whatever. But he got suspended, and there's this lie that's being pushed around that the FCC made it happen, or the FCC forced it to happen. And no, the FCC guy. There's this FCC guy who's the chairman of the FCC. His name is Brendan Carr. And sometimes people in politics, they will go on podcasts and they'll talk a big talk. They'll say big words. And this guy actually did go on, some mainstream conservative podcaster guy called Benny Johnson. And he talked about, that this, broadcast hoax lying, Jimmy Kimmel lying about the nature of the Charlie Kirk assassin. Basically that, he finds that problematic and stuff, and he's hinting he might try to do something about it. But the government officially never did that. So anyway, the guy gets suspended, unsuspended, but in between that time, the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, what did they do? Made a petition, and that petition basically says, free speech is under attack by the actual government, even though it wasn't. And, some misled people decided to sign the petition. There's a petition where anybody can sign it, apparently. And then there's a celebrity version, where some curated, celebrities list shows up. And my point is this. I'm thinking it was back on Monday. I think it may have been just before it was announced that Jimmy Kimmel's so-called suspension or so-called firing was over. It didn't actually happen. He was back on the air within 4 or 5 days. And I was looking at some of the names. Should I look up this name? Because it might piss me off to the degree where if it's celebrities that are in movies that are coming up, and I love movies. I love going to the movie theater. And a big chunk of those are just your standard, main studio Hollywood motion picture. Am I gonna be ooh, I wanted to spend money on motion pictures that these actors were paid to be in, which in turn incentivizes future career opportunities for them, being in, big, expensive Hollywood movies. And I was like, should I look at those? Like, I know, like, I heard some names, or like, I guess I'll like Meryl Streep's in there. Okay, I'm probably not going to see a Meryl Streep movie anytime soon. Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, some of the kind of typical kind of Hollywood liberal types. Am I going to see some names that are like, oh, I wanted to see those? And I did. So there's I was literally considering seeing a motion picture that just came out. I had kind of a mediocre opening weekend considering the big budget. One Battle After Another. So yes, there's Paul Thomas Anderson movie that just came out. Apparently, it's getting great reviews by whoever is choosing to see it. Called One Battle After Another. It was under the working title The Battle of Bactan Cross, and and the Battle of Bactan Cross ended up being called One Battle After Another. You look up the trailer that first came out, the first trailer that came out in April, is like, oh, this is like about like these weather underground type people. At first I thought it was like set in the 1970s, but no, I guess it's set in like two time periods of like maybe late 90s and maybe like the kind of modern times, maybe late 2010s. It's like apparently the plot is like separated like 2 decades apart or something. So it's not even 70s at all. But yeah, it's about like, kind of leftist, terrorist, radical vigilante types. And so it's a highly political subject matter. And I thought, that's interesting. That first trailer came out in April, and like Tesla arsons, the people like, doing arson and vandalism on Teslas and bombing whole Tesla dealerships and like, smashing the windows of people's Tesla cars and just like people whose politics they would normally agree with, attacking people for just owning a Tesla unless they want to have like a bumper sticker that said, I bought this before Elon Musk went crazy. And so it was just kind of reminding me of that, even though the subject matter is not like the same. I think these characters like wouldn't do that with that sort of thing. But what's funny is I live near an IMAX. Okay. And an IMAX 70 millimeter IMAX is one of those ultra rare ones where there's like a dozen of them in the world and 10 of them are in the US. The 70 millimeter IMAX is, and they're going to take the movie that was shot in VistaVision and convert it to 70 millimeter and actually project it in 70 millimeter. I was thinking of seeing it. It was nearly sold out for the first like couple of screenings, and I was like, oh, that petition. I looked it up. There's exactly one name. So Paul Thomas Anderson didn't sign his name on that stupid petition that's saying stand up for free speech because Jimmy Kimmel got censored by the government, even though he didn't get censored by the government. Leonardo DiCaprio's name was not on there. I mean, it's just 400 is a small sample size. 436, a small sample size. But I did notice the name, Regina King, Regina Hall. Ah, crap. I was interested in seeing that movie. Like, because I'm interested in seeing motion pictures that present a fictional narrative, even though it presents ideas that, aren't comfortable or palatable to everyone. But and the visuals of it look great, but I've heard some people really don't like the story. But here's my thing. What if I just literally did it? What if I just literally boycotted, for lack of a better word, every motion picture, that involved these people? It's mostly actors. It's other types of entertainers and such. Because it takes 2 minutes it takes a few minutes, just a few minutes of basic research. No, if the government, if the FCC, if Orange Man Trump and his new FCC guy Brendan Carr really did want to tell ABC, we're pulling the plug on all your broadcast networks unless you fire Jimmy Kimmel, you can't just immediately do that. It's a long, drawn out legal battle, and it's not a secret phone call over to the CEO of the Walt Disney Company, Bob Iger, or anyone who works for ABC. It's not this thing. It would be a very public thing that the government would have to command it, and then ABC is going to fight that.
over one. They're going to fight it over one thing Jimmy Kimmel said. He's probably lied about stuff before, but I mean, this is a very particular type of broadcast hoax. If you say the MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anyone other than their own, you are straight up implying that that's a ridiculous thing to try to characterize, which is implying that's a lie, which implies that the opposite is the truth, which implies that the guy who assassinated Charlie Kirk was a MAGA person, apparently like right-wing conservative, that he basically agreed with the entire, belief system of Charlie Kirk, but he just thought he didn't take it far enough or something, or was disgruntled about him. And that is like, that was an on and is an ongoing investigation. So you should not lie about that shit. And, oh, but by the way, look up ACLU Charlie Kirk, ACLU JimmyKimmel petition. Look up ACLU JimmyKimmel petition, the main one with the celebrities on it. And it's like up to 483 something names now. People keep adding to that list, even though he is back on the air, which disproves the government censored him narrative. So, oh crap. Oh, by the way, I also like Wicked. I've seen the stage play. I saw the stage play after seeing part 1 of the movie, so now I've seen the whole Wicked story. I also read the novel, which is totally different. Yeah, so this is American celebrities, so American actors. I thought, I looked it up. I updated it. Ariana Grande put her name on it. So, like, I don't feel like giving any of these people money. I mean, it's going to come out on Peacock eventually, which I get for free because I'm a Walmart employee. I mean, I'll be exposed to ads, so it'll get ad revenue if I eventually see it. So yeah, basically, I want to disengage from Hollywood. I look up too much news about entertainment, mostly, the American entertainment industry. I like movies as an art form. I like the experience of going to the movie theater. However, maybe I should stop validating these really large institutions. And other than just consuming stuff, I can produce stuff. I mean, I'll still see stuff, from time to time at the movie theater. But I mean, I should rethink that. Obviously, if something is like, an anime movie or something, it's not even like the dub version, or is like some genuinely tiny independent film, then that's not part of the Hollywood machine. So, yeah, I'm suggesting if you're one of those like, oh, woke Hollywood, I don't use the term woke, it's just call it insane, degenerate, and they lie about basic facts about the Charlie Kirk's assassin, and then they lie about Jimmy Kimmel being censored. Then actually put your money where your mouth is and just, disengage. Like if you're subscribed to streaming services, maybe unsubscribe to like the really mainstream ones. And then maybe stop shopping just at most companies. Most giant corporations are what you refer to as woke, so stop shopping at them. Grow your own vegetables. Put ad block on pretty much, most things. Most things that advertise mainstream products. Stop engaging with, the culture, if you got such a problem with it. And so that's what I got to say about that. Well, bye for now.